Hi, this is Dominic from Paphos Life, and in today's film we're having a drive around Chloraka and finishing at St George's Beach. So let's have the map up first of all. I'm starting off at the Chloraka Green Point, taking the main road towards Coral Bay, but turning left through central Chloraka and down into Lemba. Have a quick look at the Art College, then come back on ourselves, and then we'll loop back round to St George's Beach via the Duck Pond Market area on a slightly different route. Now, if you study every single film I do in detail, you will notice some subtle changes in this film. For instance, the titles appeared in a slightly different way, and when the lovely marketing blurb appears later, it might look slightly different, and also the transitions when I've edited out pauses at road junctions. That's because instead of using Premiere Pro, I'm switching to DaVinci Resolve to edit my films, because I don't want to pay the 700 odd euros that Adobe are asking me for next year. So if it looks slightly different, that's the reason why. There shouldn't be any difference in the actual quality of the film footage, because DaVinci Resolve is used in Hollywood, etc, etc, but I am still getting to grips with it. See, there transitions there, for instance, they seem to be slightly different than the fade to blacks that Adobe Premiere did. But at something like 500 euros cheaper for a one-off payment, so I don't have to pay it every year, DaVinci Resolve will be a major money saver for me. So anyway, that's enough of that. If it does look a little bit strange, please feel free to leave a comment about it, because I'm always open to hear criticism. Just be gentle with me. Right, if we carry on this road, it'll eventually lead to the coast road, but we're turning left here because we want to go through the heart of Chloraka itself. Now, I did a little bit of research, and it was only a very little, but this is what Wikipedia has to say about the village of Chloraka, and it's not a great deal, I have to say. Chloraka is a village in the Paphos district of Cyprus, 3 kilometres north of Paphos. The town is host to Aquitas Chloraka, a Cypriot First Division football team. Notably, Aquitas Chloraka has beaten Omonia AC on their debut home game with a 1-0 score. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what Wikipedia has to say about Chloraka. Now, I think that's a bit unfair. It's a bit like if you remember Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and Earth being described as mostly harmless. Which is one for the older viewers, which is most of you, to be honest. Anyway, I'm digressing somewhat. Yes, because it's got a lovely central church, a modern one and an ancient equivalent. There's a nice big supermarket, Papantonio's is there. And it's got some nice beach areas as well. I mean, the coast path runs through Chloraka. Badger Bay is part of Chloraka, and I like Badger Bay. So is St George's Beach. I mean, Chloraka on the coast, it starts just after the Aspire Private School. And if you carry on the coastway towards Coral Bay, just before Sandy Bay in Lemba is where Chloraka ends, which is why they say Sandy Bay Lemba, I guess. So Chloraka has St George's Beach, it has a very small, tiny but lovely Badger Bay. It has Venus Beach, does it? No, that's in Paphos still, just. But it has Baraka's Bar and sort of places like that. And it's got a lovely part of the coastal boardwalk. And it's got its own shipwreck as well. Demetrius too is in Chloraka. Well, on the coast off Chloraka. Rexy Beach. Or Dimmer Beach, that's the one, yeah. See, there are lots of beaches there, it gets quite confusing. Most of them are very small though. Anyway, that's enough about the Wikipedia non-entry to Chloraka. If I were cared about such things, I'd actually edit that and give them a bit more information. But, I mean, because Palermi's got a lot of information. I don't want to sway you if you think there's somewhere to buy, to live. But, yeah, Palermi, a lot of information there. All about how Palermi used to be brave warriors. And you can sense that walking the streets. Anyway, I'm getting completely off track now. So back to Chloraka. It looks very nice. And here's the ancient church, just approaching. And behind that to the right, I should point out also that this is one way here. There's another big church, but you can't really see that. It's a lovely square there as well, though. I'll have to do a 360 down here again soon, so you can have a better look at it. And I'm glad to say the 360s are becoming more popular, and I've checked, and DaVinci Resolve does cope with 360 films as well. The paid version does anyway. And so that's good. It means I'll still be able to show them, because they're getting more popular. People are noticing that you can actually turn the camera on them, which does help. Now, we're going to be coming up to a junction soon, where we'll be turning left and then taking the immediate right. If I'd turned left and carried on that road, I would end up at what I'll call the St. George traffic lights. Now, we'll be at the St. George traffic lights later by a different route. But I'm just letting you know that if you turn left here, this is the easiest way to get there. And if you turn right there, where I just came from, you'll be at the Papantonio supermarket. So basically, if you're on that main road that runs past the Papantonio supermarket and you turn right just after it, you'll be on the best route of getting to St. George's Beach. Now, we're taking some back roads here because I want to get towards Lemba Art College. Now, I did an article and some drone flights about Lemba Art College a few months ago, and it was all closed up then. And it was facing an uncertain future, and there was political skullduggery, all sorts. I don't know what the situation is now, but as you will see when we get there, you can at least wander around the gardens there now. So if you want to see the Lemba Art College, I suggest you go down there sooner rather than later, because I have no idea how long it will be before the fences are put up again. But I'm ahead of myself now. We're going past the school. Yeah, as well as having to switch from Premiere Pro to DaVinci, I'm also having to go from Photoshop to another package. I'm trying to remember what it's called now. But it's by Serif, the other one is anyway. And that's a harder switch for me, because I've used Photoshop for a lot longer than I've used Premiere. I've used Photoshop for since it was like Photoshop 3 or Photoshop 4. So I'm very familiar with that, and that's a lot more of a wrench. But I've already learned that I can do the maps and things like that, because all the maps were done in the alternate. I can do them in that as well. So it's just, I mean, when it comes to my age especially, it's just difficult learning new things. But the good thing is with DaVinci Resolve is that once you've understood the process of making a film, like having the various timelines, bins to put things in and keeping it organised, the workflow does transfer. It'll be done in a slightly different way. You just got to let the new application take you the way it wants to take you. I was thinking of opening up a new channel actually with more technical stuff. So if anyone would want to see something like that, leave a comment. Anyway, here's the Lemba Art College, because it wouldn't be expert advice by any stretch of the. It'd be more like a duffer's guide, how to struggle your way through DaVinci Resolve or something like that. Well, not just DaVinci Resolve, I could cover all the cameras I use and things like that. So if there is any interest in something like that, do let me know. You won't get like a film a day though or anything like that, I can assure you. Anyway, so we've had a loop around Lemba Art College, and to say that the park there as well next to it has been upgraded really nicely. And if you go back into our archives of film, you will see a walk I did through the gardens that are beyond Lemba Art College. It was quite adventurous actually. Worth having a look at that film. It's a good little walk, but wear long trousers and decent walking shoes, because it can get very muddy and all sorts. Right, so we're heading back into Chloraka now. The aforementioned Papantonio is now on the right, so if you take this turning here, get the marketing done, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and share the films far and wide, etc, etc, etc. If you want to help us out financially, go to our Buy Me a Coffee page at buymeacoffee.com/Paphos Life and bung us a few coffees. I can assure you that they are gratefully received. If you want to get something back in return, go to our Etsy shop at etsy.com/shop/Paphos Life, and there you can buy all sorts of memorabilia featuring pictures. We put on things like phone covers, mugs, calendars, that sort of thing, all taken about Paphos. And they normally feature as Calimera and Calispera shots on our Facebook page, which is Paphos Life, and has nearly 80,000 followers. So come along there, follow that as well. Then you'll get updated with anything that we publish regarding Paphos Life, be it on YouTube, Facebook, or our main paphoslife.com website. Finally, if you want to say hello, come to our Paphos Chat Facebook group or our Cyprus Chat Facebook group and say hello or ask a question. It's a good place also if you're thinking of moving to Cyprus. Don't rely on the odd YouTube clip you see. Go to not just the Paphos Chat forum, but there are lots of groups in and around Paphos and Cyprus. Join up with them and ask people there. Get as many opinions as you can. Okay, this is a key point because there's been a lot of advice, some good, some bad, being given out recently, and I'm not going to go into any of it. I'm just saying you're better off, I think, if you go onto Facebook, look through the groups and ask there, and search on the groups first though, because you might find that the question's been asked about a bazillion times beforehand, and some of the people can be a bit sarky. I do try and block all that on our groups though. We try and be as friendly as possible. Anyway, we're coming back down to the road we drove along Chloraka a little while ago. Now, there used to be a nice pitta place called Pitta Giga, and it was just behind us where we turned off the main road, and they moved down here, but they appear to have closed, which is a shame because our daughter especially loved the food there. We would get our pittas from there, and then we'd go down to Dimmer Beach and we would watch the wreck and eat our pittas. We can no longer do that. But this is where Pitta Gigas used to be, just there on the left. And we're going straight past there. Now, I filmed going past Duck Pond Market fairly recently, so in this film I go a slightly different way. Exciting times, I know. There seemed to be some sort of running race on when I was doing this as well. I'm not sure what it was, but well done to all the people competing. Always got tremendous respect for anyone who competes in things like that. I would be a collapsed heap on the floor about 400 yards from the start, I'd imagine. If it was a walking, if it was a sponsored walk, I'd just go on until cows come home. But I've never been, since the age of 16, let's say, I've never been much of a runner. So we're turning right here. And Duck Pond Market is just on our left, and there's no sign of any duck pond. I think it's outrageous. Honestly do. But we're carrying on this way now. And this will eventually bring us out onto the road that we would have taken had we turned at Papantonio. Oh, and somebody told me it's actually pronounced slightly differently, but honestly, who cares? It's going to be Sclavenitis soon enough anyway. So tell me how to pronounce that instead. I don't mind people correcting my pronunciations. I can't guarantee I'll remember the correction, but some new builds going on the left there. So yes, this whole area here is gradually getting more and more built up. So at some point, Chloraka will emerge from being officially a village to officially a town. I'm not sure in Cyprus what the difference is. I'm sure there's some figure somewhere, probably population. But this part of Chloraka is nice and flat as well. And we're running parallel at the moment to the main coast road from Paphos to Coral Bay. And we'll soon be crossing it. So here we go, we'll turn left here. And this brings us down to St. George Beach. Well, St. George Hotel, which you can see straight in front of us. Unfortunately, these aren't the traffic lights that have those nasty cameras, so you can be a bit more relaxed there. You've got St George's Chapel on the left, you can see. There's the newly renovated hotel there. We're still adding a few bits of licks of paint. There's some scaffolding still there, but that should be opening soon, I'd imagine. If indeed it's not open already, because I filmed this a few days ago now. And here we come. I still can't get over the change in this area between now and Green Monday, because on Green Monday the whole place is just completely chock-a-block with people having fish barbecues. It's fish because it's all to do with the religious, I wouldn't say festivals, actions, I suppose, the religious, not dogma even. Basically, they have to eat, they can't eat meat, but they can eat fish during Lent, and this is the start of Lent when they had Green Monday, so they have all their fish barbecues. It means it doesn't smell as nice as when they have meat barbecues, though, let's say. But that's only a spectator's observation. And here is, well, you can't really see the beach from here, it's beyond those palm trees, and you can just see the weird monument they got there as well, which looks like a bird's nest on the top of a pillar. There's St George Beach Hotel on the left, and we'll finish with a view of that monument on our right. We're going to turn into it. There you go. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next film.